Now let's take a look at the urinary system. So the urinary system, right, the kidneys and the system that produces urine, that is a part of the excretory system. So remember, the lungs, the skin, the digestive system, and the kidneys are all part of the excretory system. So you have to know all of those. So the kidneys, right, this picture over here on the left is showing us one of the kidneys. So we have two kidneys. Right, we have one on the right side and one on the left side. So what does the kidney do? What do these kidneys do? They basically filter the blood. What does it mean to filter something? For example, at home you might have, some kind of water filter, right? You put water from the tap into it, and then what does it do? It basically filters out all the toxins and chemicals and different things like that. And then what results at the end is water that's more clean. So the blood also needs to be filtered. Right? The blood normally has some waste products that accumulate in it. The body produces wastes. Or maybe the food that you eat has some waste in it. So you don't want all of those to just accumulate in the body. You don't want different kinds of chemicals and toxins to just start accumulating inside of the body. So the kidney, what does it do? It filters out that waste and then puts it out into the urine, right? So the kidneys are connected to the blood, right? So notice over here we have this artery. Remember the red artery, right? So blood is coming here from the heart. So blood comes in through here, through this red artery, and goes all throughout the kidney, right? It keeps dividing up into microscopic tiny branches, and then the kidney filters the blood all the way here at the end. It filters it. And then the cleaned blood goes back in the blue and goes back into the body. So the blood that comes in from the red is a little bit dirtier than the blood that goes out from the blue. The blue has, blood that is cleaner, right? And then where does all that waste go, right? I mean, we took, all the waste products out of the blood. Where does all that waste go? Well, it goes into the urine. Notice this yellow arrow over here, right? The urine collects into these spaces in the kidney, eventually goes out here into the ureter. And that's the urine. Right? So let's suppose we go all the way here to the end, right? Where it becomes microscopic. So those microscopic places are filled with something called nephrons. So nephrons are basically the the microscopic, structure, the basic structure that filters the blood. So let's look at a part of the nephron. This is the beginning of the nephron. You see here in the yellow, this is the beginning of the nephron. So what's going on here, right? Well, notice that we have some blood vessels coming in and then leaving. So let's say the blood comes in from the top here, all right? So the blood comes in, it starts going through this part of the nephron. And as it goes through, a lot of the waste products, they start to go into the nephron. A lot of the waste starts to go out into the nephron over here. And then the blood that's slightly cleaner, it goes back out. So a lot of the waste products, it gets basically kind of like squeezed out into the nephron, right? Now, not all of that is waste, so some of that is taken back by the blood later on. But all the waste products, they just keep going down into the urine. This is another picture that kind of shows something similar. You see over here we have the renal artery. So the artery is sending blood into the kidney, and when it goes all the way to the ends over here, it gets cleaned by the nephrons and then heads back into the body. Now, where does the urine go? The urine goes out here, down the ureter. So this is also an important structure to know, the ureter. So let's take a look at the urinary system, the overall structure. Right? So we have two kidneys. Right? So we have two kidneys, one on the right side and one on the left side. Now these are located kind of in the back. If your stomach and your digestive system is more in the front of the body, and the kidneys are located in the back. Okay? So oftentimes if people have like some kind of kidney problem, like a kidney stone or something like that, something that causes pain, they're going to have pain, in the back. Right? So you have two of these kidneys, right? So when the urine is produced, right, Each of these kidneys is filtering the blood, cleaning the blood, and making urine. So where does that urine go? The urine goes down into these tubes called ureters, right? So you have two of these ureters, right? So you have ureter. This is important to know. You have kidney, you have ureter, and once they go down here, they connect together into the bladder. So the bladder stores the urine. So as soon as urine is produced, right, a person doesn't just immediately go to the bathroom, right? The bladder stores the urine, and when it starts to, fill up, then a person feels like they have to go to the bathroom, and then the urine comes out through the urethra, right? So make sure you know the difference between these two terms, ureter and urethra. People often get confused. So people often get confused between the ureter and the urethra. So they're spelled, kind of similar. So make sure you understand the difference between them. The ureter connects the kidneys to the bladder. That's ureter. Urethra from the bladder to the outside.